guys, welcome back to another episode of the Film Fan Club Show. My name's Sam Carrico, and today I'm joined by Richard White once again.
Hey everybody, what's going on?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Have a good Easter?
Yes, I had a great Easter.
Now, this is the weekly movie news talk show where we take all the latest from the world of movies. We'll give our insight on it and just kind of talk a little bit and discuss the new topics, and maybe towards the end of the movie we'll talk about something old. Towards the end of the show, rather, we'll talk about something old, and after that we'll talk about something new. Maybe if we have time.
Talk about Easter.
Easter. Now today, we're recording the show on April 1st, so we couldn't use any news topics from today because it's April Fool's. So we're just kind of trying. I found some from earlier this week, and hopefully I didn't get burned. So, you ready to jump in?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Now, in the wake of Batman vs. Superman, now if you haven't seen any of our spoiler-free or spoiler review for Batman vs. Superman, check that out. But in the wake of Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad is allegedly DC and Warner Brothers are dumping tens of millions of dollars of money into reshoots for the film. They want to add levity to the film, and they want to make it more funny in response to apparently Batman vs. Superman being too dark. So, how do you feel about these reshoots for Suicide Squad? Is it going to be a good thing, or is it kind of bad news for you?
Honestly, when I first heard it, I was kind of but now that I think about it, I think they kind of took a look at Batman vs. Superman and all the reviews, and they were just like, huh, that wasn't good. Maybe we should kind of take a step back at what we're doing.
Yeah. Now, I was a little bit on the fence about this. I was kind of like, well, they should kind of, because I was really happy that Warner Brothers was starting to kind of come out and say, all right, here's what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. But at the same time, if something isn't working, like their tone didn't really work in Batman vs. Superman, that's one of the things that a lot of people didn't like. I was kind of indifferent to it, it was whatever, but I mean, you don't want them to just stick their nose up at everything and be like, nope, we're perfect, we're going to do it this way, la 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 la, so it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Reshoots, I'm always very skeptical of, because that means that, like, oh no, was this movie not good enough when you wrote the script, and now are you playing catch up trying to fix it? Because I feel like that's some of the problems that happened with Batman vs. Superman, because they originally wrote it as a Batman vs. Superman movie, and they're like, wait, no, we want to do Justice League next. So then they brought in Chris Terrio, and he did all that Justice League crap, and it made it a very much mixed bag. So speaking of which, not to spend too much time on this, but we haven't heard your impression on Batman vs. Superman yet. So without giving too much spoilers, because we did a spoiler review last week, what do you think? What'd you think of the film?
As far as the action goes, the action was pretty good. It was enjoyable. But as far as the story goes, there was many times throughout the movie I just kind of thought to myself, I'm just like, wow, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Man, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, this movie's pretty stupid.
And the thing, then the movie does kind of try to be smarter than I feel like it is, because there's some scenes. We'll not talk about what the last frame of the movie is, but it tries to do the Inception thing where it's like, oh no, is it this way or is it this way? We don't know. And it's like, movie, you're not that smart. Don't try. But one of the things, what was your score for Batman vs. Superman?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
It's a good score. I gave it that score.
Hey.
Speaking of which, one of the things, besides all the murdering that Batman did, a lot of people did like Ben Affleck's performance as Batman and how he kind of went about the role. And allegedly, his agent came out and said during an interview with The Hollywood Reporter that Ben Affleck is contracted to do 2 more movies, Justice League 1 and 2, and not only that, but he has written a script for a solo Batman movie that's supposedly pretty cool is what they said, a really cool Batman idea, so that is an option. So after seeing Ben Affleck's performance in Batman vs. Superman, would you like to see him direct or be in a Batman movie that he's written? Do you want to see his script come to life?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, he's directed stuff before.
A Best Picture award-winning film, Argo.
He did Good Will Hunting too, didn't he?
I don't know if he directed it, but I know he was involved with it.
Yeah,
he was involved with on and off screen.
Yeah, but no, I have complete faith in him as far as that goes. And he did surprise me a lot with the way he did Batman. And
he felt like the Arkham Asylum Batman.
Oh yeah.
From the video games brought to the life, and he was able to kind of and whenever he was talking as Bruce Wayne, I kind of felt like he was like that DC animated universe Bruce Wayne that we all kind of know from the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, of course the Batman animated series. So that was all really cool. I liked his portrayal. I do want to see this film. I just don't know where they would put it, because they have Suicide Squad coming out in August. Wonder Woman early next year, Justice League late next year. So if they were going to do this solo Batman movie, they would have to. It wouldn't be until after Justice League, probably, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like I'm ready for it, but when am I gonna get it? You know. So are you excited for Justice League? Are you okay? I'll put it to you this way. You see Batman versus Superman. It's got all these Easter eggs for Justice League. After seeing that film, are you more or less excited for Justice League?
I can't really. I mean, I'm hoping Justice League will give me something good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of doubts in my mind, but I also have a lot of hopes. So I wouldn't say it's more of a question of whether I'm more excited or not. Just kind of, I don't know. The movie did plant some seeds of doubt in my head because it was very unstable.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they can, Lex Luthor was one of the big problems that I had in Batman vs. Superman. Doomsday was one of the big problems that I had in Batman vs. Superman. So you would think that now that those things are out of the way, in a sense of the word, you can move on to something else, and make that kind of a more streamlined story. And they won't have to do as much, because in Batman vs. Superman, we were talking about it off camera, that felt like they were just trying to, you look at the title even, and it's like you can tell they're trying to cram in too much. Okay, Batman vs. Superman, also Dawn of Justice. It's like, okay, that's a lot right there.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly. So it was
look at what we got.
Very cool. Sporadic. And now we're going to continue along, and the next story is kind of continuing on with the fallout of Batman vs. Superman, the aftermath, if you will. Composer Hans Zimmer, who has done the Dark Knight trilogy, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Man of Steel, and now most recently Batman vs. Superman, he is officially retiring from superhero movies. He's done some of the most iconic scores that I can think of that have come out in my lifetime. And he said this: "I've officially retired from the superhero business. I did Batman Begins with Chris Nolan 12 years ago, sorry. So the Dark Knight trilogy might be 3 movies to you, but it was 11 years of my life. This one, about Batman vs. Superman, this one was very hard for me to do, try and find a new language." And he says, yeah, it just continues to go on. This is all different. He's ready to move on. So yeah. You've seen Batman vs. Superman. You've seen a lot of these movies that Hans Zimmer has done the score for. The score is great. I love him. So how do you feel about him leaving and then having to, go forward with a new person for the DC universe?
It honestly makes me very sad because, I mean, I'm actually certified in sound engineering, and so I've had to mess around with some mixing before.
Yeah.
And he's amazing.
Yeah, he does a great job.
I'm not sure who they're going to replace him with, but, it's sad to see him go like that.
I'm really happy that he was able to at least, do the first 2 movies in this DC cinematic universe, Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, because of all the complaints I had with Batman vs. Superman, the music wasn't one of them. It's one of those few movies.
On point.
Yeah, it's one of those few movies where I've been listening to the soundtrack this past couple of weeks just because it's just I want to get it out of my head, or I can't get it out of my head rather. Man of Steel, I contend that has a fantastic soundtrack. The movie, or the song rather, from the soundtrack called Flight. Whenever Superman first takes flight, of course, that song is so powerful and it gives me goosebumps. So yeah, Hans Zimmer, you're not dead, but you will be missed.
Yes.
So moving on, we just saw this trailer like right before we started filming. This is the trailer. We're past Batman vs. Superman now, moving on into Alice in Wonderland, the sequel, Through the Looking Glass. There's a new poster, or not new poster, but a new trailer. We just saw it. It has lots of new footage. So I'm going to turn it over to you first. How do you feel about, not only did you like the first movie, but are you excited for this new movie, and more or less so after this trailer?
As far as the first movie went, I wanted to like it. I really did. I really wanted to like it, but I did not.
Just didn't do it for you.
Yeah, just didn't do it for me. I would just, as far as it goes, best all right.
Yeah.
And the trailer, I don't know, it kind of makes me excited because as far as I look at it, maybe, Johnny Depp and Tim Burton, they're just like, maybe this time we can do it right.
Yeah. Maybe they can learn from the mistakes of the previous movies and the criticisms, because they do. Even I'm looking at this interview with the producer Suzanne Todd on the talking about the sequel's delay and all that stuff, and she said, we spent a long time working on the script. We didn't expect there to be a second movie. This is one of those movies where it started and this chick had this idea, and then they're like, whoa, that would be a great idea for an Alice sequel. So then they kind of explored it there. So it seems like this movie isn't just, Tim Burton messing around with this world and seeing what happens. It's like, no, okay, there's this really great idea. They spent a long time, first movie came out 6 years ago, so they spent 5 years working on the script, trying to get it right. So yeah, I'm hoping that they do it right. But the thing is, there was a lot of crazy CGI going on in the first movie. It says from producer Tim Burton, it's still got Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter doing his creepy little, I don't know, Michael Jackson thing. And so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for this film. But I still, it's a mixed bag, I guess, how I feel about the trailer. And it comes out the same day as X-Men Apocalypse. So I don't think...
That's a ballsy move.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question of which movie we're going to be more excited for that opening weekend. X-Men Apocalypse, obviously.
I will say, though, as far as that trailer goes, I wonder if they just kind of sat in the writer's room and just took a massive amount of drugs.
Yeah. Oh, they've got to. They've been oh my gosh.
Like,
all sorts of hallucinogens and uppers, downers.
We're ready to write.
We're ready to write. So much drugs.
I'm doing this for the people.
For the yeah, I know.
That's fans.
I'm not an addict. I'm doing it for the fans. So, no, that was pretty cool. Alice in Wonderland. It comes out on May 27th. So funny. When we started the Film Fan Club show at back in September, I was so adamant that we were gonna don't worry, the movie's coming out on this day. So but then I've gotten so far past that I forget to do that half the time. But Alice in Wonderland comes out May 27th. So moving on to the next topic. You haven't seen the first Kingsman, correct?
I have not seen the first Kingsman.
Do you like director Matthew Vaughn? He did X-Men First Class. He did Kick-Ass.
Oh, yeah.
He produced Kick-Ass too. So he's a really good director. He directed Kingsman. He has been talking about the sequel, Kingsman 2. Not only does it have an official release date, which is going to be in 2017, I believe. The movie is going to be released in June of 2017, and the title is officially called Kingsman: The Golden Circle. And I'm not sure what that means. He didn't feel the need to expand on what exactly the Golden Circle is whenever he was talking about the title. But it looks like Matthew Vaughn is coming back to do the movie. He was really kind of on the fence about it, whether or not he should do it, because he did direct the first Kick-Ass, and then he just produced the second one. So people were afraid that he was going to do that with this new movie. So for the Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle, Julianne Moore is going to be the villain. The first movie, Samuel L. Jackson, Colin Firth. Are you going to see the first movie?
Yeah, I plan on watching it.
And after you see the first movie, does the sequel kind of excite you a little bit? It's kind of hard from a vague sense of the term. Okay.
I don't know. I know Samuel L. Jackson's in the first one, and I love me some Samuel L. Jackson.
He does a great job, too. He's a very unconventional kind of villain.
The trailers also made me laugh a lot. So.
Oh, yeah, and it's great. That's what I loved about the first movie. It was able to kind of make fun of the James Bond spy genre, kind of, but also, lovingly kind of pay homage to it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was really a really good mixed bag, and you could tell the actors and the director, they were all having fun with it. And the church scene from Kingsman is one of the best single scenes from 2015, I think. So yeah, The Golden Circle, I think that sounds like a cool title. Don't know what that means. It means sounds like we're gonna be on more globe-trotting kind of adventure kind of stuff, some of that Indiana Jones kind of stuff. And then the Julianne Moore as the villain. Julianne Moore is a great actress, and so she's good in anything she does, really. It'll be hard to kind of replace Samuel L. Jackson as the villain, but I mean, because he did such a great job. But we'll see where it goes. Moving on to some X-Men stories. First up, Gambit has been delayed once again, as director Doug Liman is going to work on a movie called The Wall this summer. So there's also some rumors that they're going to start over starting with casting again. The movie should be filming by now.
Yeah.
It was originally going to come out in October 2016. Then it was taken off the release schedule. We don't know when it's coming out right now or even when it's going to start filming. So, Richard, is this movie even going to happen?
I don't know, man. I'm just like, why? Why, Fox? Why are you making me cry?
Yeah, should it happen, I guess, is the next question.
I don't know. When I first heard about it, I was super excited. But now, after all these delays...
Yeah, the originally was going to have Rupert Wyatt from Rise of the Planet of the Apes directing. Then he dropped out. Now Doug Liman was doing it. Now he's working on other stuff. Is Channing Tatum even still in the mix? We don't know. And I feel such a mess.
I feel like it's just been through the grinder so many times. I'm not even sure if it has a chance of being good anymore.
I feel like it's whatever inspiration they had at the beginning might now be lost, and I feel like there maybe this is just, of course, I don't have any inside knowledge. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so I'm just from reading these articles and following kind of the news stories regarding Gambit. It feels like they're just kind of trying to do it just to get it done now and out there instead of just a genuine spark of interest in the movie. So I honestly wouldn't mind if they just scrapped the whole Gambit movie, worked on putting him in an X-Men film.
Oh yeah.
And just, I mean, Channing Tatum's fine. I don't get why they couldn't just keep Taylor Kitsch from X-Men Origins. The Gambit in X-Men Origins was pretty cool. I liked it.
It was pretty nice.
So, I mean, it's a very much of a messy situation, almost as messy as Batman vs Superman or any of those Spider-Man sequels they're trying to do.
I will say, if they want to do a Gambit movie in the future, yeah, sure. But like right now, it seems like
with this team and just this current incarnation of the film, yeah, it sounds like a mess.
No, it doesn't sound good.
I mean, and it took Deadpool like what 5, 6, 7 years to get made from when he first came out in X-Men Origins Wolverine to then the actual new movie came out. That was a 7-year difference. So I mean, maybe Gambit's gonna take that long. I don't know. We'll have to see. Chicken.